In the early 14th century, a city stood as a testament to the enduring legacy of the Byzantine Empire. Nicaea, modern-day İznik, was not just any city. It had once been the capital of an empire in exile, the host of world-changing ecumenical councils, and a symbol of Roman power in Asia Minor. But by 1331, its fate would be sealed, marking a pivotal moment in the rise of a new power. This is the story of how Nicaea fell, and how its capture changed the course of history. Our story begins with the young Ottoman state, led by the ambitious Orhan Ghazi. Fresh off the major victory of capturing Bursa in 1326, Orhan set his sights on the jewel of Bithynia, Nicaea. The city was a fortress, protected by formidable ancient walls that had withstood countless sieges. A direct assault was almost impossible for the Ottomans, who lacked sophisticated siege weaponry at the time. So, Orhan chose a different patha strategy of patience and strangulation. Starting around 1328, the Ottomans began a long, grueling blockade. Their goal was simple: cut the city off from all supplies and starve its defenders into submission. They methodically captured the surrounding forts and villages, tightening the noose around Nicaea. But there was one major challenge. Nicaea sat on the eastern shore of Lake Ascanius, today known as Lake İznik. This watery lifeline allowed the city to receive some supplies by boat, prolonging its resistance and frustrating Ottoman efforts. The siege dragged on, a slow, agonizing test of will between the besiegers and the besiegers. Back in Constantinople, the Byzantine Emperor Andronikos III Palaiologos knew he couldn't let Nicaea fall. Losing the city would mean losing his last significant foothold in Asia Minor. In 1329, he gathered a formidable army, including experienced mercenaries, and marched to break the sieges of both Nicaea and the nearby city of Nicaea. This was Byzantium's last, best hope to push back the Ottoman tide. The two armies met at the Battle of Pelekanon. What happened next was a disaster for the Byzantines. Orhan's disciplined and highly motivated forces intercepted the imperial army. Despite their numbers and experience, the Byzantines were decisively defeated. The emperor himself was wounded in the fighting and forced into a humiliating retreat. The message was clear and brutal. There would be no rescue. The road to Nicaea was now firmly closed. The city was completely, utterly alone. For the people inside Nicaea's walls, the defeated Pelekanon was a death sentence for their hopes. The blockade continued relentlessly. Food supplies dwindled, and starvation became a daily reality. After more than 3 years of holding out, with no prospect of aid from the emperor, their will finally broke. On March 2nd, 1331, the city of Nicaea surrendered to Orhan Ghazi. The terms of the surrender were surprisingly lenient. Residents who wished to leave with their property were allowed to do so, though many chose to stay. Orhan, a shrewd ruler, understood that a functioning city was more valuable than a ruined one. But he also knew the importance of symbolism. He immediately began transforming this icon of Byzantine Christianity into a center of Ottoman Muslim culture. The city's magnificent main church, the Hagia Sophia of Nicaea, where the famous Second Council of Nicaea had been held, was converted into the Orhan Mosque. New Islamic schools, or medreses, and public bathhouses were built. For a brief period, Nicaea even served as a co-capital of the expanding Ottoman state alongside Bursa. The fall of Nicaea wasn't just a military victory. It was a profound psychological blow to the Byzantine Empire. It signaled that the Ottomans were not just fleeting raiders, but a permanent, state-building power intent on consolidating their rule. The conquest was a critical stepping stone on their path from a small principality to a world-spanning empire, a transformation that began in the shadow of Nicaea's ancient walls. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this deep dive into history, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this one. See you next time.